I'm Colette Sapphill. I'm the founder and MD. And I launched Myth because I don't drink alcohol, and I haven't drunk for 23 years now. And when I stopped drinking, there wasn't really a lot of choice, and it wasn't an open community in the way that it is now. It was still very tied with secrecy and shame. I found that a lot of what was coming into the AF spirit sector was lacking joy. It was quite worthy, and I wanted just some fun, just some, a bit of Club Tropicana, a bit of Wham, sunshine in a glass, and there wasn't one, so I made it.
Beautiful. I mean, I'm just checking the package. It looks amazing. And I mean, we all are, the category is exploding as well. The non-alcoholic drinks, a lot of bars and restaurants are actually adding that in the menu. So what's your take on the category? Like, how has your journey been? Are you seeing more uptick and, are you seeing more repeat orders? Like, where is this going for you?
I sell quite a lot in North America and Canada, and I get a lot of repeat orders there. I think a couple of challenges within the category are there's a confusion between no and low. So no and low are different things. If you had a peanut allergy and I gave you half a peanut, you're still going to be very unwell. And I think there needs to be an understanding that whilst the sober curious, the mindful drinkers, the flexi drinkers, that is one section, but there are people who don't drink at all. And low is not the same as no. And people are clear about that. So that's one thing I think is a real personal issue.
Got it.
The other thing I think is a challenge is we're still using terminology in distribution and endpoint sales, particularly in the UK, that really belong to the world of alcohol. So we say alcohol free, we say no alcohol. We go through the same distribution channels to the same endpoint venues. And I'm not sure, it feels a bit like the way veganism was 20 years ago, kind of a soggy risotto that everyone's got an opinion on. Whereas now it's plant-based, it's elevated, it's its own thing, it's valid, it's authentic. I'm not sure we're there yet with alcohol free.
Yeah, I mean, it's just time till a big beverage distributors start, taking with their Coke and Pepsis, right? Or Monster and energy drinks and whatnot. But I'm sure we'll see there once the big guys jump on the board. I think it starts with big chains as well, allocating shelves, which they have already started, like Targets and the Walmarts of the world have already started creating sections. So that's a great start to this whole thing, when the retail actually allocates a dedicated shelf. Let me ask you about your product pitch, right? So when you are pitching, and luckily you can pitch to the 7-Elevens, to anyone, right? What's your elevator pitch? Like, how are you introducing when you're knocking a retailer?
I haven't done a lot of that because I've mainly gone on trade. So everything has been online. In the UK, I've got consultants who do my elevator pitch.
So you're focusing mainly on the bars right now?
I am. However, I'm just launching some RTDs, which will be for home and eventing. And
so let's go there. I mean, how are you introducing your brand in the bars?
So in my bars, they go to mainly niche bars, so boutique hotels, boutique bars, pop-ups, events, those kind of spaces. And I mean, I have the only Malibu type substitute that there is. So if you want something with that kind of tiki vibe, but it's also really versatile. So you could make everything from a mojito to a Bellini,
Nice.
And mine is the one that most bartenders would want because it adds something to the mix. So I tend to find people come to me rather than me needing to pitch to them.
What about the distribution, Colette? Which countries? You said you do sell in States a little bit. What other markets are you looking to expand into?
So obviously I'm in England, I'm in the States, I'm in Canada. I'm looking to expand into the UAE, so the Middle East, possibly Europe.
Actually, UAE would make a good market, right? Because it's non-alcoholic category and
yeah, and I've got some connections there already. Maybe Europe. The problem with Europe at the moment is Brexit, so it makes everything very difficult. So I'm just looking at how that could be. I also have the ability to co-pack and produce in country, so it doesn't necessarily need to be kind of export import. But I'm just understanding how that will be.
Super. Anything else you would want to add for the bartenders out there, especially they are the ones who evaluated, who loved your product. Any particular message you want for the community?
Well, thank you for loving the product, and just to really give it a go in lots of different ways. Maybe treat it as something not just a straight alcohol substitute, but something on its own. So I know a way that people in the UK often like it is almost like a slushy, just over crushed ice. And because it doesn't necessarily need to be mixed, which I know is quite unusual for a non-alcoholic spirit. But all the different things that can be done with it. I'm not a mixologist, I'm not a bartender, so I'm interested to see and to hear what people make with it, particularly when it's really pretty, because that's what I wanted to make something that was a long pretty drink in a glass.